Hey gang, and welcome to the Cyrano's Place channel. I'm Coach Cass, and today I'd like to share with you our experience hosting our first tournament outside. Some of my adults said they wanted us to do a tournament, and I basically polled them for requirements that would make them feel safe, so as to come up with a solution. Now the problem with all this COVID is the fact that you have some people who I don't want to ever wear a mask, and you've got other people who don't leave home without it. And you've got a lot of people whose opinion is in the middle, different shades of gray, and I'm not here to judge it so much as I am here to respect those opinions. And with respect comes a solution, at least for a tournament, that I'd like to share with you.
I am Mary Trisillo, and I'm a fencer. It's fun. I'm 80 years old, so I am not going to win any medal, except I won a medal today. But I have with me my husband, who is the handsomest man in the entire world, and he's also a solar scientist with lint all over him. My doctor, I asked him at the beginning of the pandemic, I said, what should I do? And he said, fence only with people that have been similarly quarantined as you have, which, like my husband, obviously. But outdoors seems like it's safer because there's all this sky for the virus to evaporate into. And anyway, the CDC says that that outdoors is safe.
Well, what the medical science has been telling us for the last few months is that the major source of virus transmissions is aerosols, just droplets that people exhale, particularly when they're working hard, perhaps exercising. So what the science has been saying is that what we don't want to do is be indoors with a lot of people who are doing a lot of exercise. And this is terrible because I love going to fencing tournaments.
Yeah.
I've been missing them all of this time. So the solution is, hey, let's have a fencing tournament outdoors.
The sunshine is a good thing too.
And the sunshine helps as well.
Because UV is supposed to...
the sunshine has ultraviolet, that's a sterilizing agent.
to kill.
And we found a basketball court here where we took chalk and we demarcated our fencing strips. There are two ways that I thought to do it. One is a chalk line, and we tap the string and we could get the lines. You can also take a long tape measure and use chalk to write right next to that measure. That seemed to work very effectively. Depending on the surface you're using, you may need more versus less chalk. Chalk is inexpensive because as people walk over the unguarded line, you might have to redraw it. Again, not a big deal, just have enough chalk on line. A lot of it depends on what the space is that you're using and how well that space can be utilized.
Ready? Fine.
Another concern had to do with people watching with face coverings. So what we designated was an area inside our competition area, which was masks only. If you wish to get fresh air, you could go another 20 feet out from the competition. We're in a park, and parks you're allowed to go without face covers. So we designated an area just out of the way for people to take off their face coverings and be able to still watch. That was one of the beauties about being here in the park. People could be close in and have face coverings on, or if you chose not to, you could be farther away. The next issue was electricity, power. How was I going to run our machines? I would either have to run a long extension cord from someplace where there's nothing nearby, or I would have to get some sort of battery. We went to Blue Gauntlet, who has a power pack that goes with our SG-12s. These things are really cool to work with if you haven't seen them. So let me show you how they work. Normally you plug in the adapter to the machine, but in this case you've got the battery that plugs in basically the same way as you do the adapter, just right there. Now I've got this set up with foils connected with body cords. As you can see, it works perfectly fine with foil. If you're interested, there's information in the description below to order some. The downside is there's only so many hours of charge. That hours of charge is typically a full day's competition. You don't have to use extension cords, so you have fewer wires between strips. So if you're indoors, it's really nice because that's just less wires to try and figure out how to plug into the outlets. And for us outside, they were absolutely wonderful. Ready.
Well, the problem with going to the bathroom was that I thought, okay, when is there going to be a break to do it? So what I did is I approached the bout committee. She said, well, you've got time to go now. So we got in the car and rushed over there, and we actually made 2 trips because I really don't think you want to go into the woods here and playing with the poison ivy. For this tournament, Ask Fred notice said to bring chairs, snacks, water, or some other things, but I would say umbrellas too. Alex had an umbrella, and I was very envious of that. It is very nice to have some help from the sun. We wore different shoes than we would indoors because I don't want to wear out my good fencing shoes.
Yeah, these are my outdoor shoes too, not my indoor shoes. I had a little bit of trouble with the sun when I was facing into the sun. It was sort of shining directly into my mask, and I was noting the opponent fencers were a little bit more of a silhouette than I'm used to. So it was a little bit disconcerting to me. But after a while, I did get used to it.
I like the open sky because I like being outdoors. It's not just that it made me feel safe. It also, I just like being outdoors. It's nice. It's invigorating to look at green and to look at blue and such.
So gang, I hope you've gotten something out of this. I hope to see other tournaments being hosted around the country, maybe around the world, that are outside, COVID safe, and we can keep on training, keep our heads in the game. If you've liked this, please subscribe, please share, please like, and if you really like this, we'd love to have you to start a discussion below. Tell us what you think, what you've done, share with us so we can all learn, and maybe even become a patron of Cyrano's Place so we can start more discussions about how to safely negotiate fencing and COVID. Till next time.